Greetings everyone, my name is Dominic and today you're tuning in to the Comic Book Report, where we review comic books and graphic novels so you can get an idea of what to read. And today I realized, as is often the case, that I am reading a lot of Marvel Comics content, and so today I put together a quick list for all of you that I'm calling 5 incredible Marvel Omnibus I'm currently reading. These are all books that are gracing my library and are part of my nightly reading for the most part. I can't wait to discuss them in further detail. I should say up front, I have not completed, at least at the time of the recording, any of these books that I'm showcasing. Some I'm very close to completing, others I'm still making my way into, but all of them are already recommendation worthy. I can't wait to discuss even what little I've read so far. I'll try to keep it light to no spoilers, but yes, these are all really fun books and I just wanted to discuss them a little bit more. So go ahead and sit back and relax and let's get started. Now before we dive in though, I would like to shout out the channel sponsor, Panelbound Comics. If you're looking to pick up your own comic book collected editions, perhaps some of the comics included on this video, I encourage you first to check out the website. You can find a link to them in the video description. If you see anything site-wide you like, you can even use my discount code at checkout, TheComicBookReport. Please note though, if you do use my affiliate link or code to make a purchase, I will earn a small commission, but it's a fantastic way to support the channel. Thank you so much for considering. Now on with the show. First on my list today, in no particular order, we have the Ultimate Fantastic Four Omnibus Volume 1 from Marvel Comics. This run boasts some incredible talent like Mark Millar, a brief little stint by Bendis, Warren Ellis, Stuart Immonen, Jay Lee, and many more. For those that don't know, this book was part of Marvel's original Ultimate Universe, and this is a real treat for me. When I was going through the Ultimate line years and years ago for the first time, I did dabble in books like Ultimate X-Men, The Ultimates, and of course Ultimate Spider-Man. But for whatever reason, Ultimate Fantastic Four really eluded me. I didn't really read much of any of this run prior to getting this omnibus. And now that I have it in my hands, I'm really excited to finally be making my way through some of this content. So for those that don't know, the Ultimate Marvel Universe is set in a different universe within Marvel's vast multiverse. And on this universe, you basically don't need to know anything about these properties or these characters. You get brand new issue 1 and you start from ground zero, complete scratch. What's really fun about the universe too is that they can remix old stories and do retellings in brand new ways. So because of that, instead of having the Fantastic Four's origin story explored in like part of a small issue, the first story arc is actually the origin of the Fantastic Four, so it's spread across something like maybe 6 issues. They did the same thing with Ultimate Spider-Man, which I really enjoyed as well, but I think it was a great way to approach this property. We also have a different wrinkle in the origin, and I'm going to go light on spoilers here for people that want to be more surprised, but instead of going into space and getting compounded by cosmic rays, they try to basically enter the negative zone and have all sorts of complications, let's say. But we have all of our same iconic team members here, and I just really like the dynamics. You know, the characters feel more youthful, they feel more modernized in some ways, and overall, I just think the world building is pretty solid right from the jump. The art we get from a lot of these different artists as well is really, really engaging, vibrant, immersive, and I love it presented in this oversized hardcover format. I'm really eager to make my way through the rest of this book, especially before the Volume 2 comes out, I think sometime in 2026. I'd love to hear people's thoughts on this run, in case you have any. Like all the titles on this list, I still haven't 100% completed it, but let me know if you'd like a review when I do. Next up on my list today is a recently released Marvel Omnibus. I've already done an overview of this book. I will review it when I finish out the last couple issues in here I haven't read. Basically just a few issues of New Mutants and Fallen Angels. But yes, this is the Dawn of X Omnibus, obviously from Marvel Comics. This book basically collects all of the titles, or a good handful of the titles that launched after the events of House of X Powers of 10. So this is the Krakoa era of X-Men. It's a modern period in X-Men history where basically all the mutants in the Marvel Universe develop a kind of nation state of their own in the island nation of Krakoa. We get to see the rise and fall of this incredible mutant empire, and I just think this period is so unique and fun, and the fact that we have this first chunk collected in this omnibus, I just think is a real dream. So unlike some of the other collected editions, this book maps like issues of different series all within one book. So you'll read an issue of X-Men, then jump over to New Mutants, then jump to Marauders, then Excalibur, and then maybe 2 issues of that, 3 issues of this, 1 issue of that. But it's mapped in a kind of logical flow where you feel like you get to be immersed in all things Krakoa, even as you jump from book to book, creator to creator. This is instead of something like a creator-centric or title-centric omnibus, so we don't have like X-Men issues 1 through 20. We have X-Men issue 1, then we'll have an issue of that, then an issue of whatever. You kind of get the idea. But it's mapped in a way and it bundles stories together in a way that I think make the most sense to enjoy the broadest possible breadth or context of the Krakoa era as you go. I do think that they need a good handful of omnibuses to collect this entire period. I think near a dozen, so we'll see what happens. I know that volume 2 is already solicited for I think March of 2026 if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, this book is a real trip. It's a treat. I really love the just kind of varied nature of a lot of the creators and titles we have included. Like I said, if you want a brief primer on this book in more detail, you can check out my overview. And if you'd like a full review of the book, let me know. I only have a couple issues left of this one. I'm really excited to finish it out, and I probably will try to do a full review. But yeah, let me know. I'm definitely open. Okay, the next incredible Marvel omnibus I'm currently reading is this book here. This is Black Panther by Reginald Hudlin. Now, I do have that direct market cover with Storm on the front, which is quite nice. The standard edition cover for this book also looks really striking. It's the John Romita Jr. Art of T'Challa, the Black Panther, across the front. I think both covers, again, just absolutely incredible. But this omnibus is massive. It includes the 41 issues of this 2005 run, along with some mini-series, a couple one-shots, and tie-ins. It's just one packed out book. I think it comes in on just shy of 1,400 pages, so it's right up there with that Krakoa omnibus. But yeah, really a fun read here. We started with a kind of Black Panther origin retelling, so it's a perfect place to start with this character in case you haven't read his origins or even the Christopher Priest era. This is still a really fun book that's still pretty modern, again, early 2000s, which for me is one of my sweet spots in Marvel comic history. We go through a lot of like the major cool event books around this time that at least I enjoyed as a reader. But yeah, this has been a ton of fun so far. I love the origin retelling. I'm currently at a couple of issues that basically have Luke Cage meeting and teaming up with Black Panther, and these issues are written just so incredibly. They kind of have Luke Cage kind of looking up to like a role model or a hero, the Black Panther. So when he meets him in person, he's almost starstruck. I don't know. I just love the way it was handled. So far, this book has just been really fun. I can't wait to see where we go from here. I know that this run also has him getting together with Storm from X-Men, who's one of my favorite characters in the Marvel Universe as well. So this is just a period of time for Black Panther, for Marvel, that I've always wanted to engage in further. The fact that we have this run completed and included in this omnibus, I'm just overjoyed. I'm so excited. This has been one of my nightly reads as well, and I just can't stop talking about it. I think I've done a reel or two or showcased this book already once or twice, but absolutely an incredible read so far, and I cannot wait to go deeper into the run. And hey, if you're enjoying this video and you've yet to subscribe to the channel, I would just like to invite you to do so. I'm always doing comic book based list videos like this, reviews, unboxings, shorts, and more. Thank you so much for considering. Now on with the show. Next on the list, Agent Venom Omnibus by Rick Remender, Cullen Bunn, and more. So this is another fascinating period in Marvel Comics history that I was always interested in dabbling further. I did have one modern era epic collection, including the beginnings of this Agent Venom period, but the fact that we now have it all in this omnibus format, it's a real treat. So this run, again, really light on spoilers here, but this basically has Flash Thompson taking on the Venom symbiote in parts to become a kind of government-regulated super soldier. Of course, playing with Venom is like playing with fire, and it really just has a lot of misadventures and kind of dark moments that I found to be really intense and interesting. I'm still making my way through this run, of course, but I think this is definitely an edgier side of the Marvel Universe, and I think it's just handled really well. I thought that using Venom in this way was really novel and honestly unique. I think that this is one of those fun kind of concept premise runs that just is really well executed. I think of this along with things like Superior Spider-Man, where the premise is like the main selling point. It's like, what if Doc Ock was in the body of Spider-Man? Well, it's like, okay, well, what happens if Venom is used as a super soldier suit for Flash Thompson? Again, an excellent premise that just also happens to be executed extremely well. I think the pacing of this book, the genre of this book even, feels quite a bit different from a lot of the other Venom runs. I'm a huge fan of the run by Donny Cates and Ryan Stegman, but this is definitely up there for me already as a lead contender for one of the top Venom runs. Again, they definitely pair him with some darker characters and storylines, but I think for people that want a more mature side of the Marvel Universe, this might fit the bill. The art throughout is really dynamic and interesting as well. I find myself often very immersed in the storytelling here, and overall, it's just been a really compelling read. This is another massive omnibus, so I still have a bit more to get through it, but yeah, so far it has been a bit of a page turner. I love the art, I love the character, and I find myself just learning more and more as I make my way through. I would love to hear in the comments though, are you a fan of the Agent Venom era of Venom? Let me know. And rounding out our list today, how can I not talk about a recent current read here? Yes, The Spectacular Spider-Man by J.M. DeMatteis and Buscema Omnibus. Yes, this is another example of a long-anticipated omnibus collection that I couldn't wait to check out for myself. For whatever reason, other than a couple tie-in issues, I never really read this period in Spider-Man comics, although the character models for so many of the main Spider-Man mainstays are just these iconic images that are kind of ground into my memory. I don't know if it's because I'm a child of the early 90s, but I feel like the way Buscema depicts Spider-Man and Green Goblin and so many of these other heroes and villains, they just feel iconic and immediately recognizable in the best way. I think the art is a huge selling point in a collection like this, but the writing from DeMatteis is unbelievable. It's so psychologically and philosophically layered that I just find myself just biting into it with every single story arc. This book starts off with a kind of epilogue or sequel of sorts to Kraven's Last Hunt, and I thought that was just a really fun and brilliant way to begin the book. After that, we jump into a story with Vermin and a new Green Goblin, and overall, I was just absolutely edge of my seat riveted by this book. Now, like I've said with a couple of the other collections in this book, I am currently reading, so I have a bit of road ahead of me for the collection, but in this case, I say that with a huge grin from ear to ear because everything in this book so far I've really loved, and I can't wait to have more adventures by these creators. The fact that we have this in omnibus format now is just a real dream, and I love the way it's put together. The build of the book is fantastic, the color schemes, the formatting, everything is just really dialed in, and I'm just really excited to have such a fresh feeling, wonderful Spider-Man title that I just happen to have not read. Over the last few years, I feel like Spider-Man and X-Men fans have been eating really good in the omnibus department, but this was definitely a huge Spider-Man highlight for me this year, and I can't wait to get reading. Let me know in the comments, though, if you would like to see a review of this as well. This is another one that might be a couple minutes, but I would definitely consider doing a review once I complete. And just like that, I'm already going to begin to wrap up 5 incredible Marvel Omnibus editions I'm currently reading. A lot of these books have come out fairly recently, some are a little bit older than others, however, but I'm still very happy to finally have all these books in the collection, and like I said, I've been really having fun making my way through them all. I think we have a lot of great creative talent on these books. I have a lot of variety, even amongst my 5 entries here, but let me know in the comments. I have showcased some of these books in parts on other list videos already, or overviews or reels or what have you, but if you'd like to see extensive reviews on any of them, especially once I finish them out, let me know in the comments. I'd also love to hear, as spoiler free as possible, did you enjoy any of these runs? Have you read any of the selections I've had on my list today? And also in the comments, what are you reading? What books are you still going through right now that you're actively engaged in that you're excited to talk about? I'd love to hear all of that. My next great recommendation could come from the comments section, so definitely help me out. I would love for the comments to just be a great reservoir for incredible books and great discussion. But thank you so much for taking this ride with me. Thank you for watching, and until next time, this has been the Comic Book Report. Please don't forget to leave your like, those comments we talked about, and maybe share this video with a friend. Thanks everyone, and have a good one.